On October 4th, 1957, a race between the United States and the Soviet Union commenced. This was a race to see who could stake their claim on the deep unknown void known as outer space first. And it all began when the USSR launched the first ever man-made satellite into space, calling it the Sputnik.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast! Mother Russia!
Winning the war. But, obviously, that did not succeed. Although the missiles weren't effective, the technology that the German scientists brought up sparked the interest of the United States and Soviet Union armies.
Continue.
Both sides then recruited a few German scientists to assist them in making technology that was able to be launched into space.
On November 3rd, 1959, USSR launched Sputnik 2, which carried a small dog named Lakia into orbit.
At the time of the space race, President Eisenhower was in office. Upon hearing about the Soviet Union successfully launching Sputnik, Eisenhower was furious. He refused to be technologically inferior to the Soviet Union. Along with that, he didn't want the Soviets to have that advance of technology, because if they had the ability to create the satellite, creating missiles would come easily to them, and that thought frightened the United States. This desire to be the superior nation led to the series of events between the US and USSR, in which they were both trying to be the best out of the two. After the launch of the Sputnik, Eisenhower devised his own plan to get back into the race, which consists of the launching of the United States' own satellite into space, so they are at the same technological level as the Soviet Union. So, on December 6, 1957, the US-made satellite named TV-3 took off from the ground. Unfortunately, just a few short seconds after its launch, something went awry and the satellite crashed back down to Earth. Finally, on January 1958, they successfully launched the Explorer, catching up with the USSR.
1965, Alexei Leonov performs the first spacewalk.
That was until April 12, 1961, when the Soviet Union launched the spacecraft Vostok 1. Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space. Over time, more and more Russian astronauts were sent into space to successfully complete. By this time, President John F. Kennedy had come into office and decided that it wouldn't be enough to just catch up to the Soviets. They had to surpass them. In 1961, he declared that the United States was going to put a man on the moon by the end of the 1960s. William Bradford, speaking in 1630 of the founding of the Plymouth Bay Colony, said that all great and noble actions are accompanied with great difficulty, and both must be enterprised and overcome with admirable courage. And if this capsule of our history and of our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for progress and knowledge is determined and cannot be deterred. The exploration for space will go ahead whether we join in it or not. He was right. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, was a famous quote by Neil Armstrong.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In 1975, the USSR and US decided to join forces and work together instead of competing. This was declared in space when the two spaceships docked with each other and shook hands, making that the first handshake in space.
Where does an astronaut park his rocket?
Where?